Hey everyone, happy new month. I am again, it's been an incredible week. We are officially in the third month of the year 2025. I must tell you, I am super excited for so many things. Today, actually, and I've been thinking about this over the last couple of days. Um, I think one of the most interesting things in my head at the moment is um, about audacity. I think that there's something very interesting which I find with kids is kids have audacity. I think a lot of us as adults we've lost being audacious, the that innate capacity to be audacious, you know. And it is interesting because I obviously think that obviously is a function of a lot of the things we've experienced in life, where we've tried things and they've not worked, and intentionally or unintentionally it has now shaped how we attempt to go for things that look very big or daring in that sense. And I think a lot of it stems from the fear of getting rejected or not being accepted, you know. But kids don't have that problem, you know. Kids ask, I think there's actually an interesting show about kids asking the damnedest question, you know. And I think that's a very interesting thing where they don't have any fear. What's the worst that could happen? You'll get told no, you know. And I think if you look at people that are extremely successful, one of the things they become really comfortable with is becoming comfortable with getting no and realizing that no is not the end of the world. If you've tried applying for a job, you realize you probably have to get a lot of no's. You have to apply and speak to a lot of people before you get the answer. If you are trying to raise funding for your business, you realize it's the same thing. You can't just expect that you will talk to the first investor you raise capital. You have to talk to maybe 100, maybe 200. A lot of those people will tell you no. There's a lot of stories of founders of businesses where they were told no multiple times. And in spite of all of that, the founders persevered. They were extremely very committed to the idea, to that business, to that passion, and they saw it through. You know, and I've been thinking about it a lot deeply, a lot this week. You know, even as I am building my business and going through that motion of there are weeks where it is extremely tough. But I realized that one of the most biggest thing you can have is to have very audacious goals or dreams. You know, shoot, as they say, shoot for the moon. I mean, you might land somewhere close by. You might not hit the moon. You might land somewhere close. I don't know how they say it, but I think that one of the things, again, as you're thinking about, we're entering March. 2025 is already running, right? Whatever your goals, your aspiration, whatever that dream is, how are you going after it and being as audacious as you can with that dream, with that goal? How are you setting things that look realistic? Are you being realistic? And I think sometimes, yeah, we're like, oh, be realistic. But why do I have to be? Why do any of us have to be realistic? What's a lot of the people that have changed the world are people that were never realistic. They believed that they could do things that to a lot of people was insane, but they kept doing it and they kept at it and they kept at it until their insanity became the new normal. You know, so yeah, you are allowed to be insane if that's the way to think about it. Chase that ambitious, crazy idea. Chase that ambitious, crazy dream. And I think that is also the interesting thing again that as adults, because again, of all of the responsibility of life and society, we end up not really chasing those true things that we are really passionate about or the things that we really deeply care about. Um, I've had this year, again, even with all of my schedules, I am already setting some very interesting goals for myself. I'm actually going to be writing a book this year. And I think it is coming from a place where I've been talking with a lot of founders over the last couple of weeks. I started something for founders where I'm trying to kind of mentor early stage founders. And the most interesting thing from the interaction with about 50 founders, thereabout, that applied for it before I closed it, was everybody is trying to solve. It's just interesting seeing the problems they're trying to solve, how they view the world. But again, because I've done this now for the last 10 years plus, building businesses, sorry, tech businesses, I have also started seeing certain patterns, right, about the kind of way and how people approach solving problems. A lot of it is solving problems that they are aware of or they're used to. And I usually ask a lot of the founders, why are you building the company you're building? Are you building it because you couldn't get a job? Are you building it because, oh, it's a passion project, or you are deeply in love with the problem? Or are you building it because someone actually has that problem? You know, do you want to be rich? Do you want to be king? Like, under, understanding why we do what we do, because a lot of the time, even as adults, we get so caught up in all of the emotion or the action of everyday life that we're not actually pausing a little bit to ask, why am I really doing this? Is this for me? Again, it might be okay for 90% of every person else in society, but does this make sense for me? And it's in every walk of everything we do in our lives. From um, you see people arguing, oh, is university still relevant in today's age and time? Um, should I stay in this city, or should I move to a different country? Should I work in in a company, or should I start my business? Again, fundamentally, it is why, why? Not why because society or anybody says it, but why fundamentally for you. You know, why do you do the things you are chasing? Why are you? Why does that dream matter? Is it because you just want to be able to meet the bill or pay the bill? Again, I completely understand that because there's a lot of pressure. But when you get to that place where you're able to meet that baseline, hope you don't forget your dreams. Hope you don't forget the thing that gets you really, really excited. Hope you do not forget to chase that audacious goal. Again, it might not make sense for anybody else, but that it makes sense for you. Um, because that for me is truly living, where you're doing things that you truly, truly enjoy. I honestly, truly enjoy building businesses. I can't I don't know what the other any other thing I'll probably be doing if I was not probably building a company would be possibly teaching. I actually would love to probably be a guest lecturer at a certain point in time. There was a few years ago, I was in a project where I went across a few universities to speak to computer science professors about how they deployed technology programs in the universities, and it was relatively one of the best times. Um, and I really, really look forward to a day where I will get to do that again. And I actually have plans. One of my other auditions go this year, apart from writing the book, which already in itself is already a very big stretch considering everything that I have on my table, is that I would like to actually create like a course, maybe something on LinkedIn Learning or something. But again, go for it. Nothing should stop you from being able to have those crazy wide ideas, those crazy wide dreams, and not because of, oh, it's going to become a $1 billion opportunity idea, but it is because something that you're so truly enjoys and you're doing it for that. And again, I think that it is also understanding and separating the things that we do that we truly truly enjoy as a person, and the things that we do if for just being able to make end meet or pay bills. If you have the luxury of finding both in one, you are a truly blessed man or woman, and that is an amazing, amazing place to be. But I think, again, what has been in my heart in the last couple of days coming to the weekend is it is time for us to become more audacious. Right? So whatever, I don't know, whatever that dream is, you told yourself, no, it no longer makes sense at my age. There are stories of people that have started things and succeeded in their late 40s, in their late 50s, in their late 60s. It is never too late. You can start today. You just need to start. And a lot of people, what I've also seen is a lot of people overthink and overplan And I get that because again, it also stems fundamentally from a lot of that fear of we don't want to feel like we failed. We don't want people around us that we love or that we care about to see that we failed. But again, what I say a lot of the time is who cares? Right? You're the only one that it matters to. So do the thing not because anybody else is watching. Obviously I get it because we're in an era where we are extremely conscious of what everybody thinks and thinks and feel or how they perceive us as a society. But if you want to truly live, you need to be authentic to yourself. You need to be in a place where you can truly express yourself and enjoy the things that you love doing with people that you love doing it with. You know. So whatever that audacious idea, that dream, that goal that you've told yourself, oh, it's not realistic. It's not meant for someone like me. I would want to tell you, dare to dream today and don't overthink it. Start today. There is something small you can do to move that dream closer to reality. Do it now. If you, whatever, any day, any week, any year you get to watch this video, start. There's something small you can do to move the needle. Start. You will hear incredible stories of people where everything had gone wrong for them, but because they took a step forward in the direction of their dreams and the things that they really, really care about, the universe and everything moved in their direction, right? So don't overthink it. Stop overthinking. Stop trying to put everything into shape. Like a friend and a mentor used to say, is like most of our dreams and our aspiration is like driving a car in the night. The light beam will only show you just as much ray to complete the next step. But you need to trust that as you move a little bit, the path becomes clearer. You know, so trust that process. It doesn't mean it's going to be any easier or it's going to be all rosy. You'll start and then to come out as a worldwide success. And I think that a lot of them, that's also the expectation we've kind of created, which is also very, very weird in some sense, where we expect that everything we do immediately we started, it will be successful right off the bat. For certain projects or certain cases, you might that might be the case, but for a lot of things, it will take dedication and discipline and consistency. And one of the things, like I've said multiple times on, if you've watched me talk live regular on the weekend, is the biggest thing that if there's one habit, if there's one big thing to learn, is learning to be consistent. I think that it pays better to be consistent than to have a lot of energy than to work really, really hard. Because what you see a lot of people do is that they put in all of that energy and then they burn out really quickly. They're not able to sustain it, you know. But if you are consistent, again, I will use it with like exercise, let's say push up or whatever you do. It is not about, oh, I want to do 100 push ups in a single day. You might be able to do it on day one, but your ability to continue that on day two will not be there. But if, let's say, you say, oh, you know what, I'm comfortable doing 5 push ups every day. If you constantly do that over and over and over and over again, you realize after a couple of days, you are not doing six, you're not doing 10. Before you know, you're doing 50, you're doing 100. Build your muscle. Again, whether it is for your dreams, for your business, for exercise or fitness or whatever it is, build consistency as a muscle. Once you build consistency as a muscle, everything else becomes easy. Again, even the idea of dealing with failure, it is also a muscle. You know, if you become comfortable where things go wrong and you don't see it as life defining, okay, yeah, shit happens. It didn't work out, but you can learn from that. What you then realize is that when things go wrong, it no longer phases you. My mom actually used to, she used to actually tease me a lot of the time, like, oh, your siblings come and they tell me all of the things that is going wrong and all of the things they're dealing with, but you never, that doesn't really happen with you. And I'm like, well, it's just also very fundamentally different because of the way I think and I approach a lot of things in my life. And it's also because I know that even when things go wrong, it's okay because for me, it's a case of okay, this have gone wrong. What is the next pathway forward? And then planning and plotting from there. You know, if I tell you the kind of week I had, is like in the business is really, really incredible. Even to this weekend, the team is doing a lot of stretched out work. You know, we've grown in an incredible way this month. I think this month we probably grew 3, 4x what we normally do on a monthly basis. So it almost seems like everything is happening all at once. The amount of countries and partnership we've had to unlock in such a short amount of time has stretched everybody out. But again, it's becoming comfortable in the chaos. In fact, I'm launching a t-shirt brand. Oh, that's something else, by the way. I'm launching a clothing brand. Um, actually, I will probably do a proper announcement on my birthday. It's going to be called Obin, so watch out for that. But it's really, really interesting because one of the things I actually want to put on a t-shirt is called, I call it "Embrace the Chaos." It takes a special set of skill to become comfortable in chaos. It's almost like if you read in the Bible where they talk about the Jesus was in the boat and the disciples and there was a storm and everybody was screaming, "Oh, master!" And they were like, "Dude, why are you guys stressing me out? Like, let me sleep." And where what for me was like, it is no matter what, all of that chaos that is going on, that internally you are calm, right? You are not allowing, or and again, like I said, it also takes muscle. You build that as a muscle where you then get to that place where everything is going wrong, everything is probably burning, but you are not letting all of that motion get you carried away. You can sit and then look and plot out what needs to happen next. Again, like I said, you probably might not see 20 steps ahead, but you can quickly see, okay, you know what, this is what needs to happen really quickly. And then you can focus and tackle those 1, 2, 3 things immediately, and then move from there, and then move from there, and then move from there. Again, like I said, it takes a bit of getting used to and becoming comfortable with it. But the moment as you go along and as you build that as part of your process, as part of your being, you realize that a lot of things no longer bother you a lot because you're like, oh no, we've dealt with much more difficult situations than this. So if there's anything I wanted to actually talk about is this weekend is one, be extremely audacious. Whatever that dream is, it can be bigger. I remember when we did our YC interview for my last company, 54 Gin, um, and we're talking to the partner at YC, and we're like, oh, this is how we're going to make this company a $1 billion business. And the partner said, why a billion? Why not 10 billion? And in my mind, then, even the thought of building a $1 billion company was already ridiculous in itself. And having somebody tell me, oh, it could be bigger, just was, it was very different in terms of how I started seeing a lot of things, and it kind of reshaped a lot of my mentality by a lot of things in that sense. So I don't know what you're thinking or you're building. It can be bigger. It can be better. Again, for me, it stems from why, knowing the why you're building and doing what you're doing, and that it is not because society expects it, so my society demands it, but that because you truly enjoy it and it is something that gives you a lot of satisfaction for your soul, and that you are as audacious as you can be. That you can go for the weirdest and the most exciting things that you're interested in. You know, um, and that you can trust that even when it seems that there's a lot of chaos, if you just stay still, if you just stay calm and just take one step after the next, that picture will become clearer and it will get better. It doesn't necessarily mean it will get easier, but it will get better. Um, I remember I told a founder a few weeks ago, she was like, oh, I'm just starting a business. I'm like, first of all, it's going to be hard, right? And I think, again, that's also a lot of the things I want to drag a lot of my friends into the show over the next couple of weeks is there's a lot of, uh, what I call it, romanticizing of building a business that I think has happened over the last couple of years. Because all of the stories we hear is the stories of, oh, this founder has raised a lot of money or they just got acquired. Obviously, we hear obviously the grim side where, oh, they stolen money, they shut down. And it only seems like those are like the two pieces of conversation that we are having about that journey. And for me, it's like I talk with a lot of my friends that are building company, and I know it is extremely hard. Meant I wake up most of the time in the middle of the night, and I'm thinking about work, I'm thinking about business. Over the weekend, anybody that you know that is building a business, if you're building a business, every single day, every single week, every single moment, your mind and your heart is racing and thinking about, oh, how do we need to do this? You're in the shower, you're like, oh, I need to write notes. I need to. You are always. It is non-stop, and it is extremely hard. And I think that also we owe it to start having much more of those kind of conversations about the dates where we didn't know, the months where we didn't know how we're going to meet payroll. The months where we didn't feel, or the days we didn't feel like getting out of bed, even to go to work or to even to do anything about the business. And how we go through all of that emotion and that journey, dealing with finding the right people, letting go of the people that are not fit for the business, struggling to fundraise, eventually fundraising, all of that weird part of the emotion of that journey. And eventually, hopefully, you then get to the other end where you find success and everybody is like, yay, but nobody talks through that in between. So, yeah, that's how my weekend has been. How my weekend has been. I'm truly, truly excited for March. I think it's going to be an incredible month. I think 2025 is going to be an incredible month. We have an amazing challenge or targets we've set for ourselves in the business. And again, just having incredible people to be working with every single day, building uh, this dream or this vision for me is an incredible privilege that I'm really, really grateful for. But again, before I start rambling away, whatever you're doing as you're going into the last month of the first quarter, and for the rest of the year, be as audacious as you can be. You know, go after those weird, wild dreams. And it's okay if it doesn't work out. It's okay if you make mistakes. Learn from it, evolve, and continue in that journey. Okay? So that's all for today. Thank you for joining, and then see you next week. Have a great rest of the week and enjoy your day. Cheers.